What's up? Good morning, ni hao, sin chao, buenos dias. It's me, Mr. Jordan. Today we're going to be looking at and reading Chapter 9 of The Animal Farm by George Orwell. We'll do an analysis, and we'll also get into some key quotes and do some line-by-line reading. So if you want to figure out the purpose of Chapter 9 of Animal Farm, stick around to the end of the video. Let's get right into the analysis of the quotes here. So the first quote is about the reduction in food or rations at the farm. So Squealer says, "Once again, all rations were reduced except those of the pigs and the dogs. A too rigid equality in rations," Squealer explained, "would have been contrary to the principles of animalism. In any case, he had no difficulty in proving to the other animals that they were not, in reality, short of food, whatever the appearance might be. For the time being, certainly, it had been found necessary to make readjustments of rations." Squealer always spoke of it as a, quote, readjustment, never as a reduction. The important part of this quote is that Orwell is showing us how language and word choice can be manipulated by those who are in power. So even though they aren't lying, they're omitting or reducing the truth. By Squealer changing the words he uses, rather than saying the animals are going to eat less, he's saying he's going to readjust the amount they're eating, which is neither an addition nor a subtraction. And in essence, he's lying to them. But here in Animal Farm, we can see how those in power in the social organization is maintaining their hierarchy through the use of language. Quote, "In April, Animal Farm was proclaimed a republic, and it became necessary to elect a president. There was only one candidate, Napoleon, who was elected unanimously." What's happening here is that they're creating a false democracy, right? The election is for show, so it's just pomp. There's no truth to it. The animals don't actually have any say in choosing who's in power because they have no candidates to choose from. It's a spectacle being created by those at the top of the hierarchy, the pigs, who are in control of the social organization of Animal Farm. This is that classic idea of bread and circuses. "Give them bread and circuses," said the emperor, to keep them occupied. The third and final quote we're going to look at is about Boxer's death, which is the most important event. His death is foreshadowed at the start of the chapter when Boxer is coughing, and later when he slows down and he's laboring on the windmill, and eventually as he collapses. So the quote begins, "Goodbye, Boxer," they chorused. "Goodbye." "Fools," Benjamin shouted, prancing round them and stamping the earth with his small hoofs. "Fools! Do you not see what is written on the side of that van?" That gave the animals pause, and there was a hush. Muriel began to spell out the words, but Benjamin pushed her aside, and in the midst of deadly silence he read, "Alfred Simmons, horse slaughterer and glue boiler, Willingdon. Dealer in hides and bone meal, kennels supplied. Do you not understand what that means? They're taking Boxer to the knackers." A cry of horror burst from the animal. What Orwell is showing us with this quote is again that the language doesn't actually lie. So the facts, the truth, are printed on the side of the van, but by the general populace, the lower rungs of the social organization, the labor animals, the working class, by their illiteracy and inability to read the van, the pigs and those literate animals can manipulate and control them. And later that's exactly what happens when a lie is told to the animals that the veterinarian has actually purchased this truck from the old glue boiler. And those in top, those who are controlling the messages and the ideas and the words that are coming out, really ultimately have physical control. And the saddest part about this is, of course, that Boxer was the most dedicated of all animals to the farm. So he continually worked hard, and he used all of his strength and labor and might until he literally dropped dead of exhaustion. But none of that labor paid off. And this ultimately, Orwell's comparing Animal Farm really directly to Stalinism in Russia and the former USSR. So what happened was Stalin worked the peasants to death, and then he literally sold the labor, the fruit of their labor, which is the wheat and the food, he sold it to other countries for cash, the same way that boxers being sold for his hooves for cash. Thanks so much for watching. Please like the video, leave a comment below with other questions. I'm happy to answer. And subscribe to my channel for more videos about literature, language, IB, and level A's exam prep.